Daniel. It's great to meet you. Thanks for having me by. Mind if I take a quick walk around and take a look at your house, much like a buyer would, or would you prefer to show me around?
No, you can take a look around. I'll meet you in the dining room.
Okay, cool. So the first thing I noticed when I was walking around is that you have it really tastefully furnished. Are you planning on taking the contents with you, or are you going to be including it in the sale when we have buyers come through?
Whatever's easiest, whatever's going to make the sale go through.
You were sharing with me on the phone that you were not planning on doing any changes or modifications before we bring buyers through. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything.
So I just want to begin by saying thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to provide you with some valuable information and to be of assistance. I got that screwed up. Hang on, I was trying to do it from memory, but let me start over. So I just want to begin by saying thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be of assistance, to provide some valuable information, and potentially help you with the sale of this property. I always like to begin these conversations by just reviewing a few things just to be sure that we're on the same page. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. So the first question I have for you, and I'm pretty sure that I know the answer to this based on our previous conversations, is that just that you're 100% sure that you are definitely selling this property. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So you're not interested in potentially renting it out or holding it as a second home?
No, we're going to be taking the proceeds from here to the next destination.
So that leads me to my next question, which is an important one. And it's just that you want to position this property price-wise to sell. I mean, you don't want to give it away. You just told me you need to use the proceeds to buy another house, right? But at the same time, we're not really looking to just test the market by having it sit on the market for 6 to 7 months. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And then just the third thing I wanted to confirm with you is, having gone over the information that I sent to you in preparation for us connecting today, and maybe you looked at my track record, checked out some online reviews, looked at my marketing plan. Have you already decided that you would like for me to help you with the sale?
Yeah, I think we're pretty good.
Okay, perfect. Well, hang on. I think I'll go flip my page that's wet.
I knew I wanted to throw you a curveball here.
Yeah.
If they say to you, yes, we're ready, what do you think the next move would be?
Well, obviously to show them the CMA.
I wouldn't even go there.
No, just go straight to ask them about price.
I would go right to paperwork.
Okay.
And I don't know about you or so, in New Jersey, there is only one piece of listing paperwork that has price and fee on it. Right. Is there more than one in your area? Or is it just one?
The first page of the listing paperwork.
So just one, right? What piece of paper has price and fee on it? Just one sheet, or does every listing paper sheet have that on there?
Just the first sheet.
Perfect. So what you would do is, if they say to you yes, you take out every other sheet of paper, have them sign it, and then you do that one last.
Oh, I see. You just go through. You say the first page for last.
Yep. Why do you think I would say to do that?
Because then they're already agreeing to working with you.
There you go.
Essentially, that you're saving up the best for last.
I mean, come on. This is like taking candy from a baby. What are we talking about here?
Right.
So you get everything signed, you get your disclosure signed, you get everything signed, and you go right into, okay, great. Now we can just go into, there's only a couple of things we got to go over today, and it's the price we set on your home and the professional fee. Sound good? Great. Both of those will come to a number together as a team. And again, whatever number you guys decide to choose, I'm going to support you 100%. Sound good? Yep. And you go into it.
Yeah. So you don't do so it tells me to go to number 7, and it says, so the great news is we only really have to focus on one more thing during the remainder of our time together.
Yeah.
First of all, the first one was obviously your motivation, but you already expressed to me that you're wanting to sell this.
Yep.
And you're wanting to work with me. So basically now what we need to talk about is going to be the price that the marketplace is showing us where we need to be in order to get it sold.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely got to pick the right price to make that happen. Are we on the same page here?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it goes into the CMA.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm getting the paperwork signed first before I do all that.
I see. And then when do you show the CMA? After you get the...
I don't really do a CMA. I just do 3 active, 3 sold.
Well, I guess that's the CMA.
Yeah. So then I would just go right into it at that point. Great. We're going to come to a price together as a team. And then you go into it. I'm aware that sellers utilize two strategies in an attempt to get the most. Whatever strategy you choose, of course, 100%. First one is start out high, leave room to negotiate. I'm sure you're probably very familiar with that. Yeah. Okay, great. A couple of challenges that come with that. Can I go over with them what it is? And you just go into it.
But you would first have them sign all of the 2 through 7 of the paperwork, and then you would go into the showing them the values of the properties, and then you'd be like, okay, now let's talk about price. Or let's agree to price and commission.
Don't talk yourself out of it. Get those signatures first, and then just go into the price and the fee afterward.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
You're the first person that's ever suggested that.
Yeah. Does it make sense to you?
It does make sense, yeah. I mean, it also spreads the paperwork out because I've always saved everything for last, and then we have to sit there forever. And it's just like a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, because I've had people say, you know what? Yeah, you're our guy. And I'm like, perfect. Let's just take care of some of the paperwork, and we'll get that process started. Sound good? Yep, perfect.
Yeah.
And you just roll right into it. Yeah, you just roll right into it. And then when it's time for the price, you go over that. Yeah, now, okay, we're going to come to this together as a team. That's why this is blank. And then you go into it. 2 strategies. And whichever one you choose, I'm going to support you. And you go into both of them.
Yeah, okay.
Which one's going to serve you? And then they'll pick the second one. And then great, you go over the comps, what works, what doesn't work. Based on this information, where do you think you would feel comfortable coming into the market to have your home be the next obvious choice to sell? And then they will they'll give you their number, or they'll tell you because they trust you. What do you think?
Right, but then you're not really supposed to say it.
No, you don't. You say, hey, I appreciate you asking that. Yeah. So what we know to be true is this: we have these properties here. We know these numbers. Your neighbors did us a huge favor. They let us know these properties and these price points aren't working. So the good news is we see here what is working, which is a price point in the range of $750 to $775. So anywhere really in between there, I think is going to be a good number for you. Where would you feel comfortable coming in? That's what I do. If you don't feel comfortable with it, I wouldn't do it. But if you feel comfortable and think like you can do it, then I would do it.
Are you in Massachusetts? I thought I just heard a Boston accent there.
No, I'm right outside of Manhattan.
Oh, Manhattan. It's the New York accent. That's
there
what
you
I'm
go.
hearing. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing real estate for?
I got out of college in '99 and went right into the mortgage side.
So you were a lender for a while?
I was a loan officer. I was a closer. I was an underwriter. If you ever saw the movie The Big Short, yeah, it was all the secondary markets, selling of and pooling of mortgages. I did that too.
Okay.
So I did everything.
When did you become a realtor?
09.
I wish I got into it back then.
Yeah, it was a bad time. It was the same time around when Aaron got in. But you're doing well now, so that's all that matters. And it's a good. This is an even better time to learn because it's a harder market.
True, but now I'm just that much older. You know what I mean? Well, that's the only part that I could like.
Yeah. But, well, you're with literally like the best person with Aaron, and you're in like the best group.
Yeah, I was over with Keller Williams before. They were talking about crushing it because they're like around my age. They were a little bit older, like late 40s, early 50s. And they had already had their heyday. Like they crushed it like 15 years ago when the market crashed. They were doing really good, right? And so I was like, well, give me some tactics that I can do, to help me out. And they were like, didn't really have any. You know what I mean? They kind of avoided the question.
Yeah. Well, usually when people don't, they'll talk motivation and consistency when they don't have actual skills and tactics to give you.
They're like, reach out to your sphere. I'm like, I don't have one.
Well, you're in the best group. So I know you're probably doing really well. So and you're in this group. You're in the role play group, which is just going to continue to get your skills to a level where you're you know what to do in any situation.
Yeah, well, I just deleted my social media, but I will be reactivating it. I didn't delete it permanently. It's decided to step back from it.
Mm-hmm. Look at yourself. I'll let you go on this, and it's important. When you look at when you're on social, try to look at yourself as a producer, not a consumer. You're there actually making it content instead of consuming content.
I just find real estate content extremely boring. And
you have to make it yours. When you make content that's true for you, it's not boring.
Right. And I also don't see myself as a total guide yet because I'm not having it reach the level of success where I can teach other people. Do you know what I mean? So it's
That's a story you're telling yourself in your head. I don't think that's necessarily why people. You don't need to be doing crushing deals to be able to help somebody that needs maybe a word or a situation that you have, a price reduction.
I have to come out with a strategy, like a social media strategy of, and I've been working on it, like, content that's going to work for me. You know what I mean? Because I don't necessarily want to focus just on real estate. Like, I haven't quite figured it out yet. So
you have to find your superpower. Everybody has one. Literally every human being has something inside of them that is unique to them. And when you figure it out and then actually give it away to the public for free, that's when you're going to start to take off.
Yeah. And I just feel like I do a lot of comparison of myself, and it makes me feel bad. And that's normal byproduct of social media. They always tell you that. But I started noticing that a lot of the content that is getting put into my feed is the exact stuff that I'm sad that I don't have in my life. You know what I mean? And I'm wondering how much my content is actually influencing what I want. You know what I mean? So I'm taking a break just to see, like, a reset.
Mhm.
Like, so I'm going to give it like 3 months and see if I can do the changes that I want.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, that's going to serve you do it. So, cool.
Yeah, and then come back with a media plan, too, so I can start posting. So,
yes. Cool.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy the new year tomorrow. Happy New Year. And
thank you.
I'm usually off Thursday and Friday, but since we're off Wednesday, I'll give you one of those 2 days. Probably Thursday I can do.
Okay.
If you want to do Thursday.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. Take care.
Thanks, Ace. For those who don't know, Darwin, I mean, there's very few that probably don't know. Darwin is a very powerful individual, part of the Latin Chamber of Commerce.